Welcome back, third grade friends. Today's our last math lesson. I hope you are ready. We have really turned our brains on today. This is going to be super tough, but I know that you can do it because you've been with me this whole time. We're going to have to use everything we know in order to solve these problems. So I hope that your memory is turned on. For our lesson today, you need a couple of things. You need your student guided practice page. This is the one that says part A and part B. Sometimes that's a little scary, but don't worry, we've got this. You also need a pencil. Make sure it's got an eraser on it. Mistakes are how we learn. While you're getting those things together, we're going to take just a second and we're going to do a quick refueling break. We're going to do mountain breathing today. You can do this two different ways. You can just follow along with me, or you can turn your paper over and on the back you can draw your mountains with me. As we're doing our exercise today, I want you to remember that we're going to use that big breath right in the middle. So we're going to build up and then we're going to relax. All right, are you ready? We're going to take a big deep breath. Here we go. Take a big deep breath in. Hold it for just a second. And exhale. A little bit bigger breath this time. Hold it and let it out. Biggest deep breath. Here we go. Hold it for a second and let it out. Small breath. Here we go. Hold it. Let it out. Last one. Here we go. A little bit bigger than that last breath. Hold it. And let it out. There you go. Okay, let's take a quick second to review all of the math that we've done. Look at all of the things that you have done. You've used base 10 blocks to add. You've used properties of addition like commutative and associative. You've used base 10 blocks and open number lines to subtract. You've related addition and subtraction fact families. Do you remember that lesson? We had all kinds of fun with those triangles. And you solved real world problems using bar diagrams and variables. Guys, big kids are using these variables, so you're going to be super smart when we're done with this. Remember, a variable is simply a letter that represents an unknown number. Today we're going to be looking at problems that have a part A and a part B. All that means is that this one problem, rather than having just one answer, is now going to have two different answers. That's okay. We can do this. Let's take a look at this first one and see what we can come up with. It says Sam and Mike want to buy a new grill for their dad for Father's Day. Sam has saved $197 and Mike has saved $204. Okay, so part A says how much money do Sam and Mike have in all? Okay, well, let's think about what we know. Do we know how much Sam has? Yeah, he has $197. Do you know how much Mike has? Perfect, 204. So if I want to know how much they have all together, then I'm going to take Sam's part plus Mike's part and put them together, right? So let's do that. Let's write that equation and put a variable in for that unknown. So let's do 197 plus 204. And we know that that's going to equal our variable. Remember, our variable represents the number, how much money Sam and Mike have all together. So what could we use, what letter could we use to represent money? Yeah, let's use M. Now remember, if you chose a different letter, that's okay too. It won't matter at the end. Now, we got to add those together to find our answer so we can go on to part B. Okay? So let's see. I'm going to take those numbers and I'm going to split them into I think place values. So I'm going to take 197 and I'm going to break it apart. Let's see. I'm going to do 100 plus 90 plus 7. Now I'm going to take 204 and I'm going to break it apart as well. So 200, I don't see any 10s, plus 4. Well, now I can add my place values. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Let's start over here with our ones. What's 7 plus 4? Are you thinking 11? Good, me too. I'm going to put an 11 here. What's 90 plus 0? Well, that was an easy one, wasn't it? 90. And then 100 plus 200. Yeah, that was simple too, 300. Isn't it interesting how we took this really tough problem and we turned it into something similar or simpler? Let's take a look. 300 plus 90 plus 11? That seems kind of scary, doesn't it, that 11? Can we break that 11 into something smaller to make it a little bit simpler? What if I turn that 11 into 10 plus 1? So now I have 300 plus 90 plus 10 plus 1. Well, okay, I can use my associative property and group those together, can't I? So now I have 300. Let's add 90 plus 10. Yep, 100 plus 1. Well, I can do that. That's no problem at all. 300 plus 100 is 400 plus 1 is 401. So I know that all together, Sam and Mike have 400, whoa, my goodness, and $1. That looked like a 6, didn't it? Goodness. $401. That's the first part. That wasn't too scary, was it? So see, when you see part A and part B, I don't want you to automatically think, I can't do this, it's too hard. I want you to take a breath and let's do one piece at a time. All right, so let's take a look at our second part here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna erase what I've got here so that you can see my second part. You don't have to erase yours if you don't want to, because sometimes that gets a little tricky and teachers like to see all your work. All right, take a look here. It says, if the grill costs $535, how much more money do Sam and Mike need to save before they can buy the grill? Okay, well, let's think about what we know. We know the grill costs $535. How much money do Sam and Mike have altogether? That's right, we figured out already, $401. So I need to know how much more money they need, which means I'm doing a subtraction problem. So let's take our larger number, 535. We're going to subtract, remember that's the cost of the grill. We're going to subtract $401. That's how much Sam and Mike already have. And what I'm trying to figure out is how much more money they need to save. So again, I'm looking for money. So again, I'm going to use the variable m here, but you could use whatever you wanted. Okay. So if I wanted to solve this problem, I think probably the easiest way for me to solve it is going to be to draw base 10 blocks. So let's do that. I'm going to start with my 535. So I'm going to start with 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to do 30 now. 1, or 10, 20, 30. And then I'm going to draw my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm taking away 401. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Well, I've got 5 and I want to take away 1, so what does that leave me with here? Leaves me with 4, right? I've got 30, I don't need to take away any. What does that leave me with? That's right, 30. Okay, and now I've got 500, but I want to take away 400. So I'm going to cross those out. How many hundreds do I have left? That's right, 100. So I'm going to do 100 plus 30 plus 4. So I'm going to write that over here. 100 plus 30 plus 4. You can do that. I know you can. How much money do they still need to save? That's right. Sam and Mike need to still save $134. So see, that seemed like a really scary problem. It was really big. It took the whole page. I had to solve 2 problems to figure this out. But none of that is anything that you don't know how to do. So don't look at these problems and automatically think, I can't do it. We've got this. Let's try another one. All right, Mackenzie's reading a book with 364 pages. Yesterday, she read 58 pages. So she's got her book in her hand. She's reading. She's read 58 pages. How many more pages of the book does Mackenzie need to read before she's finished? So what I'm trying to figure out is how many pages are left in the book if Mackenzie's already read 58? Well, I know how many pages are in the book altogether, don't I? Yeah, 364. And I know how many pages she's already read, which means I want to take those pages out. So if I'm taking pages away, am I adding or subtracting? That's right, I'm subtracting. So I'm going to do 364 minus 58, and that will tell me how many more pages she needs to read. So what can I use to represent pages? What variable should we use? I like your thinking. Let's use P for pages. Okay, so there's my number sentence. Now I just have to solve. I think I'm going to draw this one out again. So I'm going to draw 364. So here's my 300, my 60, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, when we subtract, we're just going to put those numbers underneath from this one. So I'm not going to take away any hundreds, but I am going to take away 58. Okay, so let's take a look. I have 4, but I have to take away 8. I can't do that, can I? So we're going to borrow. We're going to steal from this side over here. I'm going to take away this 10. I'm going to draw it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I can take away 8, can't I? Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many are left? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You with me so far? Good deal. Okay, so I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and I'm going to take away 5. Okay, that's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm taking away 5 tens. Well, I only had 5 tens, so I have 0 left. All right, how about my hundreds here? 300. Do I need to take any hundreds away? No, so I'm just going to keep that 3. So I've got 300 plus 0 plus 6. How many more pages does Mackenzie need to read? That's right, 306. So P equals 306. That's not terrible. She can get that done in no time. So let's take a look down here at part B. If Mackenzie reads another 123 pages before bed tonight, how many pages will she have left in the book? Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because a lot of you are going to want to go back and do that 364 and take away 123 pages. But what do we already know about what Mackenzie has read? That's right, she already read 58 pages, which means there's only 306 pages left in the book. So if I take this 123 away from 364, then I've completely forgotten about the 58 pages that she already read. So this time I have to use the answer from my first problem to help me solve my second one. We can do this. So this time I'm going to start with 306 pages because that's how many she has left after she read that 58. Then I'm going to take away that 123. That's going to tell me how many pages she has left in her book. So again, I'm going to use letter P to represent the pages she has left. Let's draw this one out as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with 306. So here's 300. How many tens do I draw? That's right, I don't want to draw any. But I am going to leave a space here because I've got to leave a space for tens. And then I'm going to draw my 6 ones. Okay, I need to take away 123. Well, I don't see any problems here because I think I can take 3 away. 1, 2, 3. I think that's okay. So I've got 3 left. But here's my problem. I have 0 tens, but I need to take away 2 tens. So I'm going to have to come over here and I'm going to have to re-represent that 100 as tens. So let's cross out this 100. We're going to write it as tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So we have to draw 10 tens. Now can we take away 2? We sure can. So we're going to take away these 2. So I had 10 tens. I took away 2. Now I have 8 tens. So I know I've got 80. And then I've got 200 here. I want to take away 1. So how many hundreds do I have left? Just 100. So if I take all those together, 100 plus 80 plus 3, how many pages does Mackenzie still have to read? That's right, she's got to read 183 pages. That wasn't terrible, was it? No, not at all. Now remember, think about what you know before you start the problem. Don't get tricked into using that number from the very beginning. Sometimes the answer to the second part is dependent upon the answer to the first part. But that's okay, we can do this. All right, I want you to try this one on your own. It's going to take you a bit, but I want you to think all about the whole problem. So Mia has a drawing book with 400 pages. She's already drawn in 236 pages. So how many clean pages does Mia have left? So think about that. And then down here at the bottom, it says, well, Mia's mom's going to buy her a new notebook with 250 pages. How many empty pages does she have now? So I'm going to have to use my answer for this part to help me with this part. So take just a minute and let's see how you do with this. Okay, let's think about what we know so far. We know that Mia has this drawing book that's got 400 pages in it. We also know that she's already drawn in 236 pages. If I want to know how many she has left, then I have to take what I already have, what I started with, and I have to take away what she's drawn on. So I'm hoping that the first problem you set up was 400 minus 236. If you did, give yourself a nice big pat on the back. If not, let's fix that now. I'm going to use an open number line to solve this one. So I'm going to start here, come all the way down. I'm going to start with 236. I'm going to end with 400. Okay, 236, I want to go to my closest friendly number, so I'm going to get to that nearest 10. So I'm going to go to 240. To do that, I'm going to make a jump of 4. Now I'm going to go from 240 to 300. Let's count by 10. So remember, I'm trying to get to 300. So 240 is where I'm starting. So 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300. How many 10s did we have to jump? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that 6 10s is the same as 60. And then take a look at this, from 300 to 400. That's a big jump, but it's an easy one. I'm just simply going to go 100. Okay, so let's put all these together. Let's rearrange them and put the hundreds first. So I'm going to do 100 plus 60 plus 4. 100 plus 60 plus 4 is 164. So how many clean pages did she have? Perfect, she had 164. I'm wondering, did you put a variable here? Maybe P for pages or C for clean, something like that? Okay, so I know that she has 164 clean pages, but then what did her mom do? Mom went out and bought her a new notebook. So she's got 164 clean pages, but then mom gave her how many more clean pages? 250. So I want to know how many she has now. Well, she had 164. Mom gave her 250 more, and I want to know how many in all. So were you thinking that this is an addition problem? I hope that you were. I'm wondering if you used a variable. If not, let's do that now. So 250 clean pages plus 164 clean pages is going to give me what? More clean pages, right? I'm going to use C for clean pages. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do base 10 blocks here. Okay, so I'm going to draw 250. So 200 and then 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't need to do any ones here because I have a 0 in my ones place. But I am going to have to draw ones for my 164. So I'm going to draw 100. I'm going to have to do 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens is going to give me 60. And then those 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I'm going to add all those together. Well, this part's easy. How many units do I have? Just single ones. Yeah, 4. That's easy enough. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Let's count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. What? Well, let's take one of these groups of 10 and let's bring it over here and turn it into 100. Okay, so if we take away those 10, how many 10s do we have left? Just 1, and we know that 1 10 is the same as 10, right? Now how many hundreds are there? 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 400. So if I take 400 plus 10 plus 4, how many clean pages does Mia have left? 414. Great work today, guys. This is a lot of fun. I know it seems like a lot of math, and you've done great work. But let me show you how to make this really fun. We're going to take a little bit of your writing skills, and we're going to do a really cool activity. So what you're going to do is you're going to write your own story. But there's a trick to this story. It's a math story. So you're going to write about a time when you or a character you made up had to use math to solve a real-world problem. For example, maybe your character is a sneaky pirate looking for treasure, and he's got all these math clues that are going to lead him to the treasure, but first he has to solve the problems. That could be tough on a pirate. Or maybe you have a superhero, and he's trying to save the world from the evil math man, and he has to solve all of these problems to find math man's hideout. Or maybe you have a knight in shining armor who's trying to save the princess, and she's trapped behind bars in a tower, and there's a dragon guarding her, and you have to use math to get past the dragon. Whatever your story, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a piece of paper or 2, you're going to fold them in half. Make sure you've got a cover. Give your story a name. And on each page, you want your main character to face a math problem. So you're going to give your character a storyline. You're going to tell what he's trying to do, and then he comes to a challenge. You make up a math problem to solve in order to get past that challenge. For example, if you have a knight and he has to cross a giant bridge, but the problem is the bridge needs 432 pieces of wood, and it only has 165. How many more pieces of wood does the knight need to find to finish the bridge to get to the princess? Do you understand? Make it fun, illustrate it, use colors, and then share it with your family and friends. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm so excited that you joined me for summer school this year and that you had so much math fun and your math brain has grown so big. So because our math brains are so big, our secret code word today is brain, because yours is enormous. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye.